Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E. And today we're going to do a little bit of a CFA review. We're going to go over multiplication, division, and prime and composite numbers. This has been a little bit of a tough section for us, but I really know with a lot of review, we can figure this. Hold on. We can save so much time. Is this real? Let's check it out. Man, y'all had to know I wasn't just going to give you the answers to the CFA. We've got to learn. We've got to actually review this stuff. But y'all are high quality students, and I know that you're going to be able to get this. So sorry about the Rickroll, but we're going to really review now, okay? So UPS check is a great way for us to read our word problems, whether it be a math, science, social studies, reading, writing question. We always want to use UPS check. Remember, the U stands for understand the question. Understanding the question means figuring out what is this question asking me to do? What skill do I need to figure this out? The P stands for prepare the passage, the table, or the image. And these questions, we're only going to have passages and tables, but there might be an image that you want to look at as well. S stands for solve and show your thinking. So we want to come up with an equation, solve it, and we want to make sure we're showing our answer. And then we put a check mark next to it if we feel our answer is reasonable. If you feel like you did a good job, you feel good about it, put that check there. If you're not feeling so hot, or maybe you don't think your answer is super reasonable, you put a question mark and you go back and you check it later, okay? So we're gonna use UPS check to help us with all of these problems. All right, so what we're gonna do for this problem is we're gonna start with UPS check. And U stands for understand the question. So the question asks, how many people can fly from Los Angeles to New York on Dash Airways every month? So we're trying to look for a total amount of people, and we're trying to see how many of them can fly from Los Angeles to New York every single month, okay? So we understand the question now. Now we're gonna prepare the passage. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna read the whole passage and figure out what's important and what's not important. All right, so Dash Airways offers 47 flights from Los Angeles to New York every month. Good for Dash. I'm glad that he's found a new line of work. Superhero is kind of a tough thing to do. I think airplanes will suit him a lot better. But however, we do have that 47 flights. That might be something important that we want to take a look at. Each is one of those key words we were talking about, right? Each is important. It can tell us whether it's multiplication or division. Each flight seats 286 people, and each person can carry up to 50 pounds of luggage. Knowing what I know from my problem, I don't think that's going to be super helpful, okay? I don't really need to know about how much weight each luggage can hold. That's just kind of a distractor. Get that garbage out of here. So we've prepared the passage now, okay? Now we're going to solve and show our thinking. So we need to think to ourselves, what operation are we using? I saw that word each, and each can mean multiply or divide. In this case, though, it looks like there's 47 total flights, and each flight holds 286 people. So every month, it looks like my number is going to be increasing by a lot. So I think I'm going to use multiplication. So I'm going to create an equation. 286 times 47 equals F for flights, or F in the chat, whatever you want to do. So we're going to stack these two numbers on top of each other, 286 times 47. And then this is just the standard algorithm. 7 times 6 would give us 42. 7 times 8 would give us 56. Plus 4 would give us 60. 7 times 2 would give us 14. Plus 6 would give us 20. Then we're going to have our placeholder 0. And then it is important to make sure that you guys are going to erase those as spare marks, okay? Sometimes those spare marks can kind of distract you from what you're doing, okay? So we put the placeholder 0 because we're high quality students. Then we do 4 times 6 gives us 24. 4 times 8 would give us 32, plus 2 would give us 34. Then 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 would give us 11. Stack those bad boys or bad girls up, 2, 4, 4, 3, 1. And it looks like we have a good answer. So D will be our answer. Now, something I want to show you really quickly, though, is that these people that make these types of problems are so smart, okay? Let me show you something. If I were to not put the placeholder 0, okay, so I've got that 2002, but instead of putting the placeholder 0, I'm going to just put the numbers in without the placeholder 0. Let's look what happens when we do that. Oh my goodness. It's like they know you. They know fifth graders make that mistake to not put the placeholder 0 in. And then you think you've got a great answer, but it's not such a great answer. So be careful. Don't forget that placeholder 0. Another thing I want to show you with the magic of calculators is that they threw that 50 in there to distract you. So if you multiply 286 times 50, you're actually going to get the answer of B. So be careful. These test makers, they know exactly what you're thinking and exactly what the mistakes you're going to make, and you don't want to fall into that trap, okay? So the correct answer was D, and I feel great about that answer, so we're going to put a check mark. All right, so let's move on to the next problem. The next problem, we're going to use UPS check. Again, you understand the question. What is the average, okay, average is one of those keywords we wrote in our journal, number of necklaces Jada Jewelry sells during each is another keyword, so we're looking good. We got lots of good keywords, each hour of this sale. So we're looking for an average number that Jada's Jewelry sells during each hour. So we're looking for an average, okay? So we understand the question. Now let's go back and prepare the passage. During a 24-hour sale, so that's like a whole day, 24-hour sale, you gotta love when those happen. Jada's Jewelry sells 5,760 necklaces online. What is the average number of necklaces Jada Jewelry sells during each hour of this sale? So we prepared the passage. We understand what it's asking us to do now. Now we're going to solve. So I see the word average and I see the word each. If we look at our keywords in our journal, we know average is telling us we're going to be using division along with each, okay? Also for me, if they sold 5,760 necklaces, that's a whole lot of necklaces in 24 hours. I think in 1 hour, it's probably going to be a little less. So we're going to use division. So we're going to go 5,760 divided by 24 equals J for jewelry, okay? So we tell ourselves which number goes on the inside of the box, which one goes on the outside. Not the box, the garage. Thinking too much of Roddy Rich over here. So 24 is going to go on the outside, 5,760 goes on the inside. All right, so we've got to make a wick column, okay? And I know wick columns can sometimes be tricky to make, but I promise if we practice a little bit, this is going to become a breeze for us. We won't even have to think twice about making wick columns. That's an 8, by the way. Sorry, that turned out a little crazy. So 0, 0, 124, 248. Then we've got 72, 96, 120. Then 144, 168, 192, and 216. Okay, so created our wick column. We asked ourselves how many times can 24 fit into 5? And that is 0. So we subtract 0, bring down the 7. How many times can we fit into that? That looks like what'll be 2. So we've got 48. We subtract, borrow from over here. That's going to give us a 9. Bring down the 6. Okay, how many times for 24? It fits in a perfect 4 times, okay? Now, the thing here, though, is we're not done yet. Just because we do have a 0, we still need to bring down that last 0. And then 24 can't fit into 0, so we're going to go here, okay? And that'll get us 240. If we use the inverse operations, and we did 240 times 24, we would get 0, 16, 8 plus 1 is 9, 0, 0, 8, 4. We add those up, and we get that number we started with, 5,760. So 240 is going to be a good answer. And it looks like F is going to be our answer. Now, something I noticed is some people might stop once they did get that 0 earlier and go, I'm done. I don't need to do anything else. but we do need to make sure we continue to go. It would make no sense that they only sold 24 pieces of jewelry every hour. If we needed to sell 24, like that would not get us to 5,760, okay? And some of these other answers are very close and very similar to what we got, but it's if a student like made a mistake with where their numbers went. So don't make those mistakes, okay? All right, pretty easy these first couple of problems. We've been rocking and rolling, so let's keep it moving. We've got one last problem we've got to do, okay? So we're going to do UPS check, okay? Which team member's jersey is a composite number? Composite number. Oh yeah, I remember what a composite number is. That's something that we wrote into our journal and we put it right here, okay? So we have a prime and composite chart in our journal and we can refer to it because your teachers really love when you guys use those resources. Now, when we're taking a STAR test, we're definitely going to be creating these on our own, but this is definitely something you can refer to as you're taking your test. So we know we're going to need this prime and composite chart, so we understand the question. We're going to be looking at which number is a composite number. Now let's prepare the passage. The number of jerseys of the 4 Rattler teams are shown below. So we've got Chad is number 41, Mason's number 47, Victor's number 49, and Carlos is number 43. So one of these numbers is a composite number, and we've got to figure out which one. If I were to go through and I look, it looks like 41 is circled. Okay, so that means that's a prime number. Okay, so that answer is not going to work. Okay, looks like 47, that one's circled too. That one's not going to work. 49, I know 49 is divisible by 7. Okay, 7 times 7 would give me 49. So it has more than 2 factors. It has 3 actually. So we would think that that's a possibility. And then Carlos is 43, so we cross that one out. Okay, so it looks like the only one that would work would be Victor, okay? Victor is the only one that has a number that is a composite number. Now, one other thing that we could do if we didn't have our prime and composite chart is we could divide all these numbers by the first 5 prime numbers that we talked about. So 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. I can tell right away all of these numbers are odd, so 2 wouldn't work, okay? 41 is not divisible by 3. Neither is 47, neither is 43. And I know that with my divisibility rules, so make sure that you checked out that video from earlier. None of these end in 5, so that doesn't work. I know if I multiply 7 times 6, that'll give me 42. And anything lower would give me in the 30s, so that wouldn't work. And none of these are repeating numbers, so that wouldn't work. So the only number that works would be Victor's number, okay? So the moral of the story with this one is make sure you understand how to make those prime and composite charts and make sure you use those resources. Your teachers are big advocates of using your resources, okay? So hopefully after watching this video, you say, you know what? I really know multiplication, division, and prime and composite. I'm gonna do awesome on the CFA on Thursday, and this is gonna be just super easy for me, okay? So make sure you study, make sure you're getting yourself ready because we want you guys to do the best you can on this test, all right? All right, we love you guys, we miss you, and we'll see you later. Bye.